told me to dance, taking a chance.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Shout Out to You Tuesdays. Listen, I have a special, I always have special guests with me today. So for this cancer care series, I have not one, but just two special guests. And then we're going to keep our thoughts in prayer for Dr. Cole, because he's here in spirit. So we'll say three to be on the safe side. But Dr. Damon Williams, how are you today with Modern Manhood? How are you today?
Beautiful. This is a wonderful occasion. I've been looking forward to this all day. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And then Valerie, this is my story, but I'm going to try to keep it together. Valerie, how are you today?
I'm doing lovely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, wonderful. And she's with OU Stephenson Cancer Center. And so today's segment, we're just going to kind of dive right on into it because it's a lot of information that we want to share with you and just to make sure that everyone kind of gets the information that they need. So, men, it's all about you. But, ladies, we need to help our men get to this point. Now, I'm going to speak for myself. I can't speak for all men, but I know how difficult it is to try to get a man to go to the doctor when there's something wrong, when you're not feeling well. They kind of put it off. They act like, oh, I can wait till later, when they really need to go right now. So I have three men in my life: my dad, my brother, and of course my husband. My dog don't count because he goes regardless. But them three, I have to stay firm on them and say, hey, you may need to go to the doctor and get things checked out. So I can relate. I can definitely relate. So ladies, you want to tune in and have your men sit down, your sons, whomever, nephews, whomever, to tune in and listen to this segment because we're getting ready to talk about men's health. Now let's start off with Dr. Damien. So, with modern manhood, can you tell us a little bit about what is modern manhood? Just to give us
Absolutely.
a little bit.
So, the Modern Manhood Foundation is a nonprofit that we founded right here in Oklahoma City. Our mission is to empower men and others in our community with skills and tools to grow and build those communities. So, for us, that means really tapping into learning how we see ourselves, how we can serve ourselves well when it comes to health and wellness, mentally, physically, spiritually, all those things, and how when we are better versions of ourselves, we are better, our families are better, and our communities are better.
Oh, I like that. When we better version of ourselves. I like that. Okay, now Valerie, now how do you play a part in this connection with modern manhood? What am I missing?
I am the African American Community Outreach Liaison for Stephenson Cancer Center. And so basically, I try to bridge the gap between the hospital systems and the community and educating people on different cancer prevention, cancer just infographics, anything necessary just to kind of get the public to where they need to be to make informed decisions on the for themselves regarding different cancer risks. And so I actually met Damon through one of our researchers. His name is Dr. Adam Alexander, and he started an amazing event called the Men's Health Awareness Summit. And we've been partnering with Damon to kind of just develop the program and make it better and kind of incorporate a lot of what he does into making sure that men are fully equipped in, their wellness to take charge. And so that's how I met him, and we've been working really well. So this is the second year that we're doing
Oh, this
this.
is the second year. Okay, well that's
It's
cool.
the
So,
fourth
because I
year
know
for the summit, though.
this is the fourth year for the summit, but the second year working with modern manhood. Did I get that
Yeah.
right?
Yes. I'll tell you, like, when I met Dr. Adam at a wellness event and just kind of catching up and talking about the different things that we're doing in different spaces, it made perfect sense for us to tap in. And so we got the opportunity to really join them in last year's Men's Health Summit. And it was a fun time. We got to share our Wellness 101 program, which we did as a breakout session, because this Men's Health Summit is way more than just sitting down and watching people on stage, talk statistics, which can be tough. And so last year it was such a great event with lots of family-oriented experiences and free food and fun for the kids and a big colon to run through. It was a great time, and so we were looking forward to it coming around this year, and we're getting even more involved, so we're excited.
Okay, now did you say a big colon to run through? I'm sorry.
He did.
He did. Okay. Now, that kind of threw me off. So there's a lot of educational components to it, and then fun for everyone too. So it's not just for the men only. They can bring their children if they want to bring I'll say the younger adults or the mini adults. They can come out and have a good time too. Now, this year, where is it going to be located?
So this year we're having it at the Northeast Wellness Center, and so that's going to be right off of Lincoln. I'm on the Northeast side, and so we're so happy and proud to be able to support that center. It just opened up, I think, just about a year ago almost, and so it's going to be the first time that they're really going to be hosting something like this. And so please come out. It's going to be from 10:30. We're going to start a walk, so we're going to have a wellness walk in the beginning. Like Damon said, there's a lot of different components. We try to have some level of physical activity so people come out. They do their wellness walk for about 30 minutes. Last year it was a little hot, and so this year we opted to have an indoor walk, so everybody can participate and be safe. And then we're going to have our sessions starting at 11 and from 11 to 3. And people can come in and visit vendors, visit the sessions, and just learn from there. And we're going to also have screenings available as well. So we'll have prostate cancer screenings with a PSA blood test. And then we're going to have mobile mammography out there to give mammograms for insured women. And we're going to have just general screenings, which are glucose, blood pressure, height, weight, and others that Integris is going to offer for us. And so it'll be a whole holistic thing.
Well, that's wonderful. So with this health summit, it's not just focused on like cancer. It's not just focused on prostate cancer or anything of that nature, but just any type of health is what I'm hearing. So whether it's high blood pressure, cholesterol, any of those things, colon, like you mentioned, because we do need to make sure we do our screening for that, even though they keep changing the age. Do you think screening confuses people when they change the age range?
Yeah.
I definitely do think so. It does. But it's a great thing though when they do change the age range, because a lot of times what that means is that more people are getting screened, and so they're having more data to base off where their screening guidelines should be. And so what it was before, it used to be, I think, 50. And so now they've lowered it down to 45. And that's because more people got screened at that 50, 55 or earlier age range. And they realized more people were ending up with, later stage cancers. And so that means that it was growing a lot earlier. And so they lowered that screening age. And so it's always good to go ahead and get screened, but it can be confusing. That's why you have to be up to date and always know what those screening guidelines are, and make sure that your physician is speaking with you, and that you sometimes can bring up that conversation with your physicians as well.
It's when, as she said, more people are getting screened, but sometimes what we're finding is that people are developing things like prostate cancer earlier than expected. I mean, when the statistics are showing that 1 out of 6 Black men are expected to develop prostate cancer in their lifetime, that's like 1 out of 6. It's already, much higher. Like we're twice as likely to have those issues and to die from it. So getting screened earlier is so important. And I'll tell you a story about, Donelle and I were on a meeting. We were in a meeting on a phone call, and this was about some other projects that we're working on. And the person we were meeting with, as we were sharing about this event and, sharing the information about sending his community out, he kind of like flinched a little bit. And we're wondering, And he said, I'll share with you guys that he's in his 40s, and he talks about how his experience with having some prostate related issues in his 20s left him with a very uncomfortable experience that he said, as I'm in my 40s and I'm trying to focus on my health now, I know I should have been back to the doctor since then, but I haven't, just because the experience was so traumatic for him. And when stories like that, circle around our friends and our family members, then those are some of the reasons why we don't show up. And so being able to show up to an event like this, where you're in a community, you don't have to sit in your doctor's office, you don't have to put on a gown, you can enjoy, some genuine fun with your family, learn a lot, and then learn more about your health on the spot. These are the ways that we bring that to the community. So we're excited about it. And to any guys who are listening to this, come and get the blood test. You don't have to get the other exam right now.
Okay. Are you trying to be vague? Because
Listen, I'm trying not to scare off any of your viewers. Because
no, you're not. You're not scaring off anyone. Because I always say it's best. I prefer people to be honest with you instead of you kind of sugarcoating it, and then you're not telling me what I'm going to experience. And so I want you to be transparent, because some people may not, don't even know what blood test you're talking about. Like, is it just blood to see my A1C?
okay,
I mean, because you have people that don't really know, like, what type of screening are we referring to? You see what I mean? So it would be
good
more of
point.
an educational component. So you're
I'm
not going to
all
scare
about
them.
that. No, and that's beautiful, because a lot of guys are saying, I'm just not ready to go have this digital rectal exam. And they say, I'm not ready for it. Like, I'm good. I could go my whole life without it. And what we're sharing with them is that the PSA, this is a prostate specific antigen test, which means they're looking at your blood and they're going to see if there are proteins in your blood that are pointing towards higher levels that are related to when cancer is growing in your body. So yeah, you can come in, have your blood taken, and they can send you the results. And it's a lot more comfortable, to say the least, for a lot of guys to have this really important test done on the spot. Plus, you can get some chicken and waffles from Roscoe's while you're out there.
Not throwing out the chicken. Did you just do an advertisement on?
Listen, because I'm excited. I'm excited about this event, and so there's a lot to look forward to, including some good food and some
That's
alcohol.
true. That's true. Plus, I love Eddie Roscoe. Those wings are quite delicious. Yes. So you're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine. But I do want to let's talk about this prostate, because I feel that that is a conversation that we don't typically have with our men. And I don't mind being transparent, and my dad will probably choke me later, but my dad noticed that he was having problems and he went to the doctor.
Mhm.
And so he did have to go. It was cancer, but he did have to go through some treatments, but it was so early that it wasn't I don't know what stage, but it was very early, where he just had to do so many rounds of radiation and other type of things, and then it was done. But I think it's really important
Sure.
that, like you said, when you notice that something is wrong, when you start when you hear them saying, "I don't feel right," or something just don't seem, I don't feel like myself, you need to be alarmed and say, "Well, hey, let's go to the doctor and see what is going on," because it can be embarrassing.
Mhm.
Let's back it up two notches.
Mhm.
Talking about prostate can be embarrassing for a man. And I'm not even a man, but I just feel like they would probably be embarrassed to have that discussion with their loved one, um, because it's not something that you want to talk about. But so you said 45 is the recommended age to get screened or to get the testing, right? Um, and there's two types of tests. You said a blood test and then the traditional way. Are they leaning more towards doing the blood test now instead of the traditional way?
Well, I would have to say it depends on the physician, but most of the time they will do both. Because there might be some where you can detect an enlarged prostate, and as men get older, their prostate will enlarge naturally. And so you want to do both just to double check. Prostate tends to be a slower growing cancer. And so sometimes that's why we do the PSA test to measure and see patterns more so. And so you want to make sure you're catching it just in case if it's not growing in size as much as your PSA levels are growing. And so most of the time they'll do both. But if you're hesitant and you don't want to do the rectal exam, get the PSA test. That one's a blood test, and it is just as it's accurate. It's one that they use to track your prostate levels, and we would much rather people do something than nothing. And so particularly, mostly they used to recommend 55 be the age range, but we do know that in Black men, prostate cancer is higher. And so we urge 45 to start talking about it with your physician and getting that screening done.
Getting that screening.
Absolutely.
So what's the range? Do you guys know the numbers? Like if it's over 35, does that mean you're in danger zone, I guess I should say? Do you know what the range is?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know that like tests like this, especially when we're taking them at an age as early as 40 and 45, it gives us a good baseline because everyone's going to be slightly different. And the point is to have an understanding of kind of what your own personal baseline is and to try and link that to some of the issues that you might be having. Because to be honest, most of us are going to go see our doctor when we have some ongoing long-term issues like erectile dysfunction, or we're having trouble urinating, going to the bathroom, or we're having some long-lasting chronic pain or persistent pain that we think is our kidneys, or we think this may be our back. So those are the things that usually send us, to go see our doctor, and then they find out that your PSA levels have been so high, or your prostate has enlarged, or you've had some developing issues long term. And so I say that because the levels are something that your physician would particularly give you the best answer about. But just being able to go and have the test done and having your baseline levels. I'm 41, and I'll be honest, I didn't have the test done last year. And it kind of the event was over, and I thought to myself, this is exactly how it goes. We're right there. I'm right there all day long. I'm telling people literally to have the test done, and I didn't get it done myself. So I'm like, this is the first thing that's on my list for this event, because at 41, I might not be in that range of 45 to 50, but at least I'll know what my levels are from here on out. And for guys who have a history of cancer of any type, or who have a family member who has had cancer of any type, even a mother with breast cancer, means that you have a higher risk of developing prostate cancer. So it's not just about, what is the range, or am I 45 yet? No, I got 3 months, I can wait. Do it now. Do it now. I'm doing it now.
Combination, you have to, a lot of physicians will say, they'll start off because there has to be some sort of range, right? So they'll say 2.5. Right. And people will think of that as the range that they need to be in. But you have to think about it. If you're 45 and your starting range was 0.06 and it moved up to 2 in 1 year, that's a large gap. And so that can be an indicator of an abnormal prostate, rather than if someone's level was 3 and it's only moved up to 3.1 in the past year, that would be considered a normal range for it to move up. So again, there is no specific, this, if you have this number, it's abnormal. It's really, so what's abnormal for you? What's abnormal for your age range, or what your prostate is currently producing? And so when we say, getting your PSA test done regularly to check, we're looking for a pattern more so than a range. And so if that pattern is abnormal, that's when they would want to do more investigating and figure out what can be the problem. And Damon brought an amazing and great point And which is why we are this year for the Men's Health Awareness Summit, not only focusing on just prostate cancer, but we're having a component of breast cancer. A lot of people don't know that the same gene, the BRCA gene that is carried for breast cancer, also can cause increased risk for prostate cancer in men. And so a lot of times, women will tell their daughters about their breast cancer diagnosis and making sure you're getting checked, but they should also let their sons know and make sure that they're getting checked for prostate cancer as well. And so I think just that educational piece of just knowing that if you're at risk or there's somebody in your family that has a familial history of cancer in general, you're at risk for cancers, and it shows up differently in every person. And so that was a great point. And this year we're going to try just to highlight a little bit more so that way people can know it's not just men's health, because we are all human, we interact with each other, and you should know the risk regardless.
Definitely knowing the risk. Now, one thing I've noticed, and you've said it at least twice, maybe three times, why are African Americans always two times as high for any type of health disparity? And I'm speaking in regards to whether it's pregnancy, cancer. It always seems like our numbers are always higher than everyone else. What is the? I mean, I know you probably don't know what's the reason for that, but what do you think is the reason?
I think there are some important clinical, considerations when it comes to that. So, my doctorate degree is in physical therapy and healing, holistic health as a health and wellness coach. And what we find is that when we have more comorbidities or other diagnoses or diseases or illnesses that are stacked one on top of the other, then it puts us at a higher risk for developing cancer. So if you've already got high blood pressure, if you've got, issues with diabetes, if you've got heart disease, if you've got obesity, those things stack up and it can cause so much dysregulation that you tend to have more risk for developing cancer, which is an abnormal growth in your body. It's abnormal because things aren't balanced well enough. And not to say that every person who has cancer is because of their own doing, but think about just how your body's not able to fight off normally how it would, and now it's being caught up with an abnormal growth cells. So what we find is, unfortunately, in our communities, we are more likely to have those things. We're more likely to have diabetes. We're more likely to suffer with heart disease and obesity in our community. So it doesn't surprise us, unfortunately, that cancer would sit right on top of that as well.
Hmm. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right on the money.
Oh, I didn't hear you, Valerie. I'm sorry. Say it again for me.
No, I'm saying that's right on the money. That's true. It's those comorbidities that increase your risk. Here at the Cancer Center, a lot of times we're always talking about what's the top cancers in each group. But one of our biggest things we're trying to tackle is obesity, at least here in Oklahoma, and that is one of the highest comorbidities for cancer. If your body is fighting other things. And trying to regulate other things, it may slip up on its regulation processes for catching different cancer cells, right? And we can't also, without talking about this conversation, not talk about the access. We can talk about here in Oklahoma, we are the only cancer center, NCI designated cancer center in the whole state.
Right. Right. Definitely. Uh-oh. Did Valerie freeze
Yeah.
on me?
Yeah, but she's speaking to the fact that a big part of that is we don't quite have as good access to proper health care, to proper screenings. And so in a system where you don't have easy access to go to the doctor's office, by the time you get there, things are further along, right? And so it's harder to manage it or to treat it when you've been dealing with, let's say, cancer for the past 6 months and you just didn't know about it because you didn't have the right information or the right access. And also, we can't have that part of the conversation without talking about the reality of the biases in healthcare. We live in a country where the system doesn't particularly take our complaints. It doesn't always take our our medical history and our care as serious as it takes others. So you put all of that in the pot, and it stirs it up, in a way that doesn't always serve us and our communities well. And throw on top of it the fact that, we as Black people, and especially as Black men, we struggle with being comfortable and confident in those spaces
Mm.
because of what it feels like to have to take time and energy away from the things that society and ourselves really deem the most important.
Right. And I think that those are, like you said, we all have to talk about those different parts as far as having access and just in general, the tradition of what we are, I'll say, accustomed to.
Hmm.
We try to stay away from getting people involved in our business, and then by the time we get to the point where we need to go, it's much further along than what it needs to be.
Hmm.
And I think that does play a big part. And yes, Stephenson Cancer Center is the only national cancer institute in the state of Oklahoma. And to me, that speaks volumes because it makes you wonder, like, shouldn't we have more? It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
but then you also think about the funding for that, and having access to that because Oklahoma is not a big city or a big um what's- uh, not a big city, but it's not compared to like California and Texas. My words are not coming to me like I want to, but um, we don't have a lot of resources that we should have easily accessible to everyone. And not to
Yeah.
mention, even in those other states that I mentioned, they probably have the same situation uh, that we have as well. So hopefully
Yeah.
Valerie will be able to join us back again when she comes back on. I know sometimes technology does some weird things, so we'll watch out
Yeah.
for her when she joins back in, and we'll allow her back into the conversation. Um, but yeah,
Can I
so just
say?
sticking with
I
say that
want to
again.
say, I want to say that you made a really good point that yes, we might not be, a big metropolitan area like as populated as other places like California and Texas, but that's kind of part of the issue for us too, because with with organizations like the Stephenson Cancer Center, this team that we're working with Valerie and Dr. Adam and Coach, this to put on an event like this takes resources, time, planning. And the worst thing that could happen is we don't show up.
Yep.
Because when we don't show up, then it tells those who want to invest in our communities that there's nothing to invest in because we
Right.
can't take advantage of it. So it is extremely important that we just literally show up. We need to have feet in the room, right?
That's a good point.
Whether or not we are getting every single test done on the spot, whether we are visiting every single vendor, you don't even have to eat. That leaves more chicken and waffles for me. But show up.
Show up.
Show Showing up shows that it matters. It matters to
Right.
us, and it tells those people who are ready to support our communities that we're here for.
Mhm. And that's an excellent point because if we don't show up, it makes it seem as if it's not as important, even though it is important. And we
Mhm.
know it's very important. But when we don't show up to these events and summits and expos, there's a lot of resources that's getting pushed out for all these different events. And so they
Mhm.
need the community to come and be able to benefit from it. And do not be scared. I think fear plays a part. They play a part because it's kind of like, well, I don't I don't really want to do this screening, or how much is it going to cost. Some people think about that too. Do I have to give you a copay? Is this going to affect my insurance? They think about all those different things, but a lot of these expos and summits are free,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you don't even have to pay for the screening. Did she even say that you have to pay for the screening? Like there's a copay or anything like that. I don't think she said anything like that. So
She
I'm
didn't mention it because there isn't one. It's free. This is a
right.
free event. This is an opportunity to come out. Listen, I've been telling people and families, I'm like, listen, if you don't want to get the test done, just come watch somebody else do it. Come watch. Come on. And I mean that. Come and
Right.
find out what it is so that, you know what, maybe you're more comfortable doing that in your doctor's office. And that's cool too. But at least you got the knowledge, the information, the free snow cones and the free chicken and waffles. And
Right.
you've met some great resources in our community. It's worth it. It's worth showing up. Plus, if you guys haven't been to the Northeast Health and Wellness Center, it's amazing. Oh, it's beautiful.
Is it
Yeah.
is. Listen. Those singers show up. They show out over there. They do. I've been over there a
Yeah.
couple of times,
It's like
and
high school, right?
right. But they are so serious. I mean, they're playing games, they're
Mhm.
walking, they're swimming, they are just really engaging and very welcoming. So I will say that if you have not been to that new wellness center, you definitely need to go and check it out. Just walk in and take a tour, and then encourage you. You know, if you're not of that age where you're a senior, then encourage your loved ones to sign up because I think it's quite affordable. I can't remember the
Mhm.
membership amount, but
Yeah.
I'm quite sure it's affordable for everyone. So
Yeah.
yes,
It
it is
is.
nice. And today's Tuesday, right? They're even having the farmers market today. Well, it may be almost over by now, 7 o'clock. But yes, but they have the farmers market there every Tuesday. So definitely, if you guys love to go, support your local farmers, all different small
Mhm.
businesses that are farmers as well, you definitely need to go and check that out. Let me check on. Let me check on
Absolutely.
Miss, let me check on my sister, make sure she is okay.
I will share one of the things that is really cool about this experience, right? With
Yes.
this Mental Health Awareness Summit, it's focused on cancer and prostate cancer, as we're really talking about that being a really big issue in the Black community. But the rates of us dying from it have dropped considerably, but it's still way too high. Because if we can, learn about it soon enough, then we can treat it. And so a part of this experience is actually connecting with a panel of survivors. These are men in our community, who are coaches and who are teachers and who are businessmen, family men, and they're sharing their experience, from beginning to life again, not end. And that's a beautiful
Okay.
thing. And so it's really important that we get the chance to talk to people who have been through it, because those who are going through it or who have this history of cancer, it's helpful for them to understand what that experience looks like. So come out and not only speak to the experts, like the physician panel and the doctors panel and the researchers, but talk to the guys who've been through it.
Mm.
Listen to what got them in their doctor's offices early enough to save their lives. Come and learn about how your family can support you and how we're all in this together. So we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have some good food. We're gonna get active. We're gonna have plenty of vendors, but we're also gonna be able to connect with community members, because we don't, as Valerie said, we don't really do this by ourselves. Everyone needs to come together, and that's what this event really looks like. So we're just excited about it. It's a great time.
Definitely having a great time. Hey, Valerie, how you
Hey.
doing?
So I don't know
I
which.
remember that.
Right.
Oh, this is so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It happens. It happens. We just chimed right along. It happens though. But I do want to say it is important to be able to talk to survivors because,
Mhm.
and let me just be frank, any person that hears the diagnosis of cancer, we automatically associate that with dying or death. And so
Mhm.
and when I do my cancer care series, I do it more so to make sure that we can not focus on death, but focus on hope, focus on
Mhm.
recovery, focus on
Yeah.
the support, the healing process, because all of those things can make a major change, and be
Mhm.
transparent about your journey, because when you go and you talk to another young man or older man that has survived this, and let's say it's been 5, 10 years, that gives you a lot of inspiration. It really
Mhm.
does. It really does.
So,
I just want to say that. So yes, make sure that you do connect with them. And someone said, "Well, when is the event?" Let me tell let me pull it up for you real quick. Valerie, you okay? It's like you Pac-Manning over there. You all right?
she's
She having
figuring it out. Yeah, she's
I
trying to
know
figure it out.
she's having problems with her technology there. So this is what we're speaking of right here, guys. If it pops up on your screen, hopefully you can see that and you can screenshot it. So it's the 2024 Men's Health Awareness Summit, July 27th, the last Saturday in July from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Northeast Wellness Center on Lincoln Boulevard. And so definitely come out. There's all different types of, I mean, what all is happening again, Damien? You tell them all
Yeah.
what's happening because I'm not in the planning phase.
So yeah,
You let
we've been meeting for months. We've been planning, and we picked up where we left off last year. So there will be lots of vendors. First, let me say we're going to start it off with a walk, as Valerie talked about earlier. We want to do a good, healthy walk. Now, last year we did it outside, and it was hot. And so this year we're going to do it indoors because this health and wellness center, it has an indoor track. So we get to stay in the air conditioning. We get to have the DJ giving us some tunes, and we get to walk to be active and to really get ourselves moving to open the day. Plus, we'll have some discussion panels with experts and like physicians and researchers about cancer to really have those questions answered about what that looks like on the clinical side. But we're also going to have a panel discussion with survivors. So we get to talk to them and understand what their experience looks like. And like you said, tap into some of that motivation. We're going to have plenty of vendors, local vendors who are here to support the community. So come and get some information, win some prizes. Um, we're also going to have some breakout sessions. Modern Manhood, we're going to have our favorite, our Wellness 101 breakout session where we get to take a holistic view at health and wellness. And it's always fun. We always like to hand out some great prizes. And then we're going to close out with, with an opportunity for us to really come together and make sure we're taking care of each other. There are going to be health screenings. There are going to be, of course, the PSA blood test, which is the prostate test. No fingers involved. So get your blood test done so that you can get your results and have a good baseline and understanding for where your health is right now, so that you can catch anything that starts to become an issue early enough to really be on that survivor panel. So yeah, Valerie, did I leave anything out?
We'll also be having, did you say that we're having a survivorship and kind of family oriented session as well? So it's going to happen at the same time as the men's wellness. And so the men can go there, and any family that came and visited can hear about survivorship and what it's like to
Mhm.
really, support the people that may be going through cancer treatment, and what that looks like, and, what you might need to do to better just support them, and what you need to do for yourself as well. Sometimes we forget about the family that's going through it as well. So we're going to try
Absolutely.
to touch as many bases as possible. You did great.
Mhm.
And don't forget about the mammograms. So come out
Yes.
and get those mammograms as well. And I forgot to say this a little earlier, but we do have colorectal cancer screenings that we will be doing. And so that'll be a kit that you can take home with you. And we'll provide you with the return area where you can send that back in and get your results.
Nice. And then of course lunch.
Yes.
Lunch is free. So come and have some Brasco's chicken and waffles. His truck will be out there in the parking lot, as well as snow cones are going to be out there. And for you non-meat eaters, Betty's will be there. So if you're not familiar, Betty's is a plant. They're plant-based to go, and they are amazing. Oh, I love them.
Yes, all of these are local businesses that we are supporting, and so we want them to come out and support these local businesses. Try them out if you haven't tried them before. And like Betty's, we're gonna have some great food there. Please come on out.
I've heard of Betty's. I've never tried it. I'm so excited. Okay. That
Yeah.
is wonderful. So you guys have provided a lot of information, um, and also a wealth of encouragement. You know, early detection is the key. It does save lives. We have to just eliminate the fear that we have of going to the doctor.
Yeah.
And I used to be that person. that say every time I go to the doctor, they find something. I'd rather for them to find something than you not know what is going on with your body, and it's just it's imbalanced, like he said earlier. And so that definitely makes a difference. I want to say, Damien, now you have your own business because you mentioned physical therapy, and
Mhm.
then Dr. Cole has his own um, business. I'm gonna mess up the name. Holistic.
So, Harmony Health. Yeah.
Okay. See, I knew I was gonna mess it up. Harmony Health, and so it's amazing how the two of you, geniuses, just come together and have created Modern Manhood to bring that together for the lifestyle of men, because we need our men to survive. We need our women to survive. I mean, we need both of them to survive to make society keep going, right?
Mhm.
But I think so at sometimes we leave out the component of taking care of our men. And we really have to start doing that. Don't wait till the last minute, but to definitely jump on there. So where can they find Modern Manhood? Because I know you all over the place. You're a famous singer and all this stuff. So where can they find you?
Well, thank you. We appreciate being seen, and we appreciate being appreciated in the work that we do all over the place. And so I can certainly say and speak for Donnell when I say thank you, because we are just as big of fans of what you do. So thank you for that, and thank you for all the work that you do in really creating, the spaces in our community that are necessary to have the conversations like this. So you can find us in Modern Manhood at our website, which is manhoodmasterclass.com. You can find us on Facebook. Look up Modern Manhood, and you'll see our, red logo. That's our Facebook page where we share information. And if you are a guy, then you are certainly welcome to join what we call our man cave. This is over 600 brothers are in a private group that is men only. It's not a woman haters club. Okay, so don't bring that energy. But it is a space where we enjoy having some of the tough conversations and supporting each other, and making sure that we're staying tapped in to what's happening in our community. So they've been hearing a whole lot about this event coming up, and we're really hopeful to bring more of us out to spaces like that, and showing up. So yeah, you can find us again at manhoodmasterclass.com. You can find us on Facebook, and then Donnell and I, we don't know how to sit down, so you'll find us everywhere.
Well, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And Valerie, where can they find Stevenson Cancer Center? Because I'm quite sure they're on social media.
Yeah, we are. But if you ever want to tap in with what's happening in the African American community, and just any cancer related things on that nature, you can follow my professional social medias. And so my Facebook is going to be my name, so it's Valerie Moise. And my Instagram is going to be Val underscore Moise, Moise. And I also post on my LinkedIn. And so you can connect with me that way too. So if you're an organization or somebody who likes to partner and wants to partner and try to do some community outreach efforts, educational efforts, bring screenings to your church, your organization, your event, anything, contact me, and we can plan and set that up.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I do want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming on Show to Tea Tuesdays, especially the Cancer Care series. I hope to have you back because we have so much to talk about. But I wanted to make sure I included you in on this one because the 27th will be here before we know it.
That's
And
right.
your event will be here. So just in case if you missed it, because we do have a snippet commercial to play. But just in case you missed it, the event is on July 27th. It's a Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. at the Northeast Health and Wellness Center on Lincoln. So make sure that you come and support. Tell your family and friends. Share it with your church, health missionary ministries, whatever, whomever that you have. Tell everybody to come out and let's fill up the place on Saturday. Let's show them that we care about our health. Okay, let's show them. Let's show out and have definitely have a good time because it is important. Health is wealth. I mean, I don't know how other way to put that. I think that's pretty much point blank, right?
Listen, V, I'm gonna tell you, they should. You know, you started off this conversation talking about how hard it is to get us there. Just do us like you do your puppies. Say, you want to go for a walk? You want to go to Home Depot? And then when you get us in the car, just pull up there and say, it's too late. We're here now. Just
Right.
Yeah, come see, and stay the whole while. You know, we might have goodies. We never know. Come and look. And also, I do want to say for those mammograms, please message me on
yeah.
any of the socials, on or through my email, or if you saw the little flyer, that contact sheet, that phone number, and call me so I can schedule them. So I have until the Thursday before the event to schedule all the mammograms. And so
Okay. You said the Thursday before the event.
I think that's the 25th.
So,
Okay.
like, yeah.
So don't wait till the last minute, y'all. You heard what
Mhm.
she said. Let me see the Thursday before. Let's look at your calendar. Because we'll wait. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I thought she meant wait, that's this Thursday, the 18th.
Next one.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
25th.
next
25th.
Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm giving y'all a heads up. My bad. The 25th. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so make sure we sign ourselves up and schedule those. Now I'm gonna try to pull. I'm gonna try to pull this up and hope you know how I tell you guys about yes, replace that. You know how I tell you about the production team that I don't necessarily have, but we're gonna we're gonna make this work. So let's see. Share tab instead of okay, yeah. Hopefully it plays. Yes, it did. Okay, it's gonna play. Okay, I think I have this right. So let's see if I can get this commercial playing. And for anyone that's listening, please make sure that you tell us if it's not working. Don't have me out here playing a video and you don't hear anything. That would make me highly upset, and I have to blame the production team, which is myself. All right, but I want to say thank you for coming on Strategy Tuesdays. They know I'm a mess, but thank you for coming on Strategy Tuesdays. Don't forget to follow Share the Tea LLC on all social media. I have all of them except for Snap at the Chat and Share the Tea with V. And I appreciate you coming on here. Thank you so much for your time and education about everything. Remember, share the tea, don't spill it. And let me see if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try it. I don't know. Let me see. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me. I'm getting nervous just pushing play, Lord. Oh, no.
Try.
Okay. Can y'all hear this? Can you see it? No?
I can see it.
No? Wait, hold on. Nope, it didn't work. Okay, so hold on, let me stop. Because I'm looking, oh, it did work. Okay, it's a delay on my side. I was sorry. I was like, wait a minute, is it working or not? Okay, let me try it again. I was trying to make sure I had it right. Sorry, guys. I can see it, but not hear it. Okay, let me do it this way. Let's do it this way because I know I had it on the book of the face. Uh, hold on 2 seconds, guys. Just a second. We're gonna make this work. All right. How about now?
Men are kind of secretive. We don't tell a whole lot about our health life and about our lives.
We often think about, men's health as what to do after the fact, or how do we recover, if at all possible.
Eventually, we have to do something about that, and that's why we started the Men's Health Awareness Summit, so we can raise the alarm early enough where people in the community can go out and get that test, hopefully early enough where they can have, as I said, the best and the healthiest life they can.
I was blessed to team up with a young man by the name of Dr. Adam Alexander from Stephenson Cancer Center.
I received a call from a pastor here in the community. He asked me to come to a church to talk about prostate cancer. And when I came, I saw a big group of men gathered together, and they were having a conversation about prostate cancer and how could we get the word out about this deadly disease in our communities.
That kind of put a spark in my life to continue to do what we were doing
So this is a free event, and we want to welcome everybody in the community to come together. We'll have a walk. There's an opportunity to check into some breakout sessions, the opportunity to have lunch, and just explore what it looks like to take care of ourselves better. So we're excited to bring everyone out.
The Men's Health Awareness Summit, it's more than just about men. It's about families. It's about, it's about love. It's about support.
Men, ladies, get your men out here, your dads, your uncles, your husbands, your significant others.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining, everyone. And don't forget to make sure that you register now, not later, so they'll know how many waffles and tests to order. So make sure that you take advantage of that. I'm just reading what Damien said. I didn't put that little snippet in there. All right, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Right. Thanks.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance.